What's up everyone, it is AnimeALX back again with another build video. This is like my third recording of this, but I'm coming at you guys with a Teostra and Bazelgeuse build. I just have the build on Teostra. Feel free to put it on Bazelgeuse if you do want, if you so choose to. If you want to use a Bazelgeuse, I think everyone should use the Monsties that you guys like the best, despite stats and whatnot. I'll go over the stats later, but for now we'll get into the genes. The first gene that we have is an innate gene of Teostra, which is the Dust Explosion, It is the Dust Gene XL, and what this does is it deals heavy fire damage to random enemies and has a high chance to inflict Blast Blight. It has a low cost of 20. So we can do this off the beginning of the game, so we can try to fish for a Blast Blight. Additionally, we have Bombing Raid, which is our speed attack option. It does attack everyone. It deals medium fire damage to all enemies and has a high chance to inflict Blast Blight. And we could try to use this off the back of the game, trying to fish for Blast Blight also. It will cost a little bit more than our Dust gene, so we can really choose which one we want depending on the situation. The Bombing Raid, though, does come from Bazelgeuse, so you're going to have to farm those to get it. These are... this skill is actually really good and does fairly decent damage, and you do end up at least proccing one Blast Blight using it, depending on how many targets you are actually hitting. Next up is our Heroics Gene XL, which seriously boosts attack at 50% HP or less. If you don't want to use this, feel free to use Pink Rathian's Valiant Flare, which moderately increases fire attack and defense for 5 turns and charges power for 2 turns. But the reason why we use this is because people are going to definitely start trying to attack our Teostra. We're going to get hit below 50%, and then we're going to fire back with even stronger fire-based moves. Next on our list is Explosion Gene M, or Medium, which is Ignition Breath. It deals medium fire damage to all foes and instantly causes Blast Blight. And the reason why we're using this over Ignition Breath XL, which is also a Teostra and base ability, is because Ignition Breath is going to be cheaper to use in a tech attack, and we only really just need another cheap power attack to use. So that's why we replaced Ignition Flare, because we're definitely just going to keep Supernova, which is our Fireball Gene XL. It is another innate ability of Teostra. It does deal massive fire damage to all enemies. It is called Supernova. It has a high chance to inflict burn for 3 turns, and it is a 54 out of 100 kin cost. All of these abilities have a pretty high cost, or medium to high cost, but thankfully we have the Harmony Gene XL, which is up 2 to bring it down. I will show you how low the cost is after overviewing all the skills. We also have Bombardier Gene XL, which is a no-brainer because if we're using Blast Blight, we definitely want to seriously boost our Blast Blight damage and explosives. We do have Fire Plus Gene XL to seriously boost fire attack, which is another no-brainer attack. These two go hand in hand, and you do want these. These two are required for this build to work. We already went over Supernova, and for our last gene is Burning Fang, which is Anjanath's level 20 attack, which deals medium fire damage to one enemy, medium chance to inflict burn for 3 turns. It is a 12 costing kinship, so we can basically try to fish for a burn off the beginning of the game, and this is a cheap power attack, so we can counter any tech attacks. This Teostra is decked out with the full speed, tech, power combo, so we can counter anything that comes our way. We have a lot of AoE coming our way, and we can also fire back with basically mini ults with Supernova, and we can do it easier or sooner with our Harmony Gene XL. Like I said, if you want to do Valiant Flare, feel free to replace the Dust Gene XL or Heroics Gene, no matter what you want. I probably would say just get rid of Dust Gene XL and just use the Tackle Gene just to start spamming out in the beginning. But whatever you want to choose, feel free to choose it. Now, moving into what it costs me to use these with King Cost Down +2. It costs Burning Fang 9, Dust Explosion 16, so that's 9 down from 12, 16 down from 20, Bombing Raid's 20 down from 24, Ignition Breath is 24 down from 30, and Supernova is 43 down to 54. So this, it does drop the King Cost significantly. And I feel like with Teostra having so many expensive moves, you do really need the Harmony Gene XL. Going on to our field guides for Monstie, Teostra is a very, very powerful Monstie, almost close to having maxed out HP, average speed, not really the best recovery, and actually a fairly good crit rate. Your elemental stats are off the charts with fire. Teostra does the most fire damage out of any Monstie in the game, and he has average defense and above average defense on fire, with below average to water since he is weak to water. And coming over to Bazelgeuse, Teostra has him beat in basically every single category, sadly, but if you like Bazelgeuse, then feel free to use Bazelgeuse. The only thing I would say that Bazelgeuse has over Teostra is that his water resistance is way better than Teostra's, because Bazelgeuse is actually weak to thunder. But since there's not really any good water Monsties in the meta, we only have Mizutsune, it kind of makes Teostra even that more valuable. And that is about it. I probably also forgot to mention that Burning Fang is going to be our only one contact move. Dust Explosion, Ignition Breath, Bombing Raid, and Supernova don't actually crit. And Burning Fang is going to be the only fire-based contact move that we have, so we can crit downed opponents or sleep opponents. You can also do dual attacks with Burning Fang. You actually can't do any dual attacks with anything else since they are multi-hit abilities. And the last thing I believe I failed to actually show is the bingo list. So we have 6 fire bingos boosting our fire damage to 140%, and 2 power bingos boosting our power damage to 120%. Teostra is a power-based Monstie, so he will default to power attacks when you do bring him out. And with all that being said, that is it for the build. I hope you guys enjoy. We do have another build video on Stygians and Ogres, so I suggest you go give that a check. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe so I can make more Monstie videos for you and more people can actually have a chance to watch them. With all that being said, thank you for watching, and hopefully to see you in the next one. Peace out, all my fellow weebs and weebettes.